Hello, everybody. We're here for Tuesday Talks. Tuesday Talks is all about getting to know an individual, finding out what makes them tick, what do they care about, how their career reflects that, and what motivates them to keep going. Now, today's guest is Kristine Zedek. Now, she is an amazing person. I was fortunate enough to meet her last year. Now, Kristine is an actor, an award-winning celebrity. I'm getting my words caught up here. She is a voicing artist and a founder of Mission Communication, a holistic course that is about reinventing the nation with effective communication. So let's get Kristine on and get to hear all from her. Right? Just I see you there, Kristine. Let me invite.
Hey, fabulous.
Hey, Kristine, how
fantastic, awesome.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for joining on
Thank
to
you.
Tuesday
Thank you
Talks.
for this
Thank
lovely
you for taking the
opportunity.
time out. Amazing. I've done a short introduction for you already, but you're the best person to do it justice and let the audience know who you are, what do you do, and the biggest question that everybody has on Tuesday Talks is,
Oh, thank you.
why do you do it,
So,
Kristine?
hi
So
everyone. I'm
you take it
Kristine
away.
Zedek, and I'm an actor. I'm an anchor, MC, and a voicing artist. This is me in the media world. I just do all of the things that I love doing, and I feel I'm blessed with certain talents. And I've been doing that for the longest time until I felt, uh, this part of the media world is very me centric. And I felt that I have learned so much and grown so much over the years from doing all that I do. And I said, you know what, it's high time I give back. So what I started doing in return is I said, you know what, the best way is to be there for other people, teach them what I know. And one of the biggest niche which I actually dug into was communication. I said, my gosh, this is something I have struggled with. I mean, people find that hard to believe, but I struggled with because it's not just the way you speak. Communication is beyond that, is how we speak. And it's all about that. So I said, you know what, let me tap into that. And I became an official coach. I trained to be a coach. I trained to be a trainer. So I'm certified. I'm a certified coach. I'm a certified trainer. And I decided to just start training, helping, teaching people about all the things that I know, whether it's a certain mind shift, a mindset, whether it's the way we communicate, whether it's confidence, how I've built on my confidence over the years. So these are all the little things that I do. And I'm looking at doing so much more because I'm not happy with just these things. I want to do so much more. I mean, I just think, whatever you can do, you should do. And if you love doing it, just do it with all your heart.
Wow, I love this. I love this journey in terms of, your why is in terms of improving the communication skills out there, because at one point you were also challenged by it, and so you understand it, and you know that it's a big thing that can shift and change that mindset with the communication. And you're right, 100%. Communication is just not about having that conversation or having that talk. It's more about how do we talk and how do we say things, because the same word can mean something else if the tonality is changed, or the version of the conversation is different, right? So that's quite interesting to know. Not a lot of people do pay attention to that. They just say stuff, and then they're like, I
So
don't mean
true.
this. Like, yeah, you said it now, so that's what it means, right? So and I love that you're trying to obviously tackle that and get people to understand there is the communication. When people say communication is the key, that is what it means. Yeah, how to have that better conversation, not just
True. And
converse,
also,
not
when
just
you say
speak,
key,
but
that
have that
means
better
so many of us are
conversation.
locked.
And I love that.
That's why we need the key, right? So we all need the unlocking,
Yes, so
which I feel, we something we all
exactly.
need to do, and it's so important. And communication is also not just speaking, right? It is also listening. So communication is so many things. It's also what is said without saying.
100%.
So so many things. So it's a big world out there.
Mm. And I love that you're obviously covering and touching upon all these and you have a
Yeah.
very strong why that you are making sure that it's been delivered with um, and with your personality who is always bubbly, laughing and smiling, it's very infectious, right? So yeah, you end up being the same, being the same person in terms of laughing and smiling and then communicating at the end because they're going to be learning from you, right? So I wanted to ask a quick question in terms of when you had this pivotal moment of, okay, I want to be on this mission. How long ago was that you realized, okay, there is a problem with communication and I want to do this? Was it when you started
So
training as a coach and everything,
I
or
think
was
I
it
would
before that?
say I dive deeper. Like I always like there were a lot of things that always would trouble me and bother me, and I knew it revolved around communication, especially having the difficult conversations, learning to say no. Having these when you say you want to talk to somebody, and it's sometimes it's it just feels like you're choking and you want to say and you can't express yourself. Being honest when how do you be honest? So
Mm.
half the time we are, what do you say, layered with what society expects us to behave and say and do and programmed. So I already struggled with that for the longest time. And that's why I realized I was not my best version of myself, because at some point I was people pleasing, or at some point I just did not know how to say what I wanted to say. So I struggled with that for a long time. And then I dived deep. I started doing a lot of work on myself. And the more I did that, I started realizing I have to be honest with myself. If I can't be honest with myself, I can't be authentic to the rest of the world. It's still a journey.
Mm.
I'm not saying I'm 100% there, but the that realization made a big difference. And that started, of course, while I was in the media line itself, because it's a field where you're scared to say no because you might lose a job or you might lose a project and things like that. So I always wondered, why am I always in so
Mm.
much of fear? Because fear was like a deciding factor for so many things. Then I picked that up. I said, why is fear ruling me? And that was something that I felt I needed to tackle
Mm.
head on. If I don't, then it was going to, come like bounce back and eat me up alive. So that started happening, and I always was into self development. I always was into learning, reading, wanting to work on myself. I always knew I was work in progress. So that was something I felt that like instead of doing any just hanging around somewhere, I would rather take a book and read. I would rather watch something on YouTube. I would rather learn, because I knew I wanted to just be a better person. So that happened. And then during COVID, actually just before COVID was when I had already started going for a lot of seminars, and I started learning and attending a lot of trainings. And I think post COVID is when I dived deeper in and I said, you know what, I'm going to get certified. I'm going to make this big jump, and whether it's a parallel career that I'm going to have, or do it as a side hustle, or whether that becomes something that mainstream for me, I did not know. But I spent a huge amount, and I said I'm going to do what it takes, because even if I want to help people, uh, people like a lot of people want to see that you're certified, right? And that requires a lot of training, a lot of work on yourself to be able to help
Mm.
others. So I started, so it was
Mm.
post COVID. Pre-COVID, I was already attending trainings and seminars. Post-COVID is when I got certified as a coach and a trainer. And that was something that, just helped me, just helped me grow grow as a person, and I said, I like actually could reach out to more people. And I was like, wow, because coaching, you end up coaching yourself when you learn, when you do the official coaching certification, you coach yourself, and then that helps you coach others. And I always feel the troubles we go through, it helps us help other people with their troubles, because that makes us more empathetic, helps them understand. So this has been, more or less the transition phase that I've experienced.
I love this, and I love this that transition that you've gone through, and then the realization of, yeah, this is an ongoing journey. So you have to carry on mastering what you are learning, right? So you have to continue, and the fact that you also touched upon, that everything that we've gone through, we have to go through so that we are able to then help and support others, so that we can make sure that they know how to overcome this, because we've just done that and joined and finished, right? So a question that was coming to my mind was, because you're obviously a very busy person, being in the media, as you mentioned, it's always media obviously plays that fear game anyway. Oh, if you don't take this role, or you don't pick up this phone, you're not going to get the job next time, and things so forth, right? What was so how do you now manage these kind of situation, right? So how did you overcome that fear of I would like to call it a fear of rejection, for example, right? Because if you're thinking, if I say no, I might not get the next call from this same producer or the director, right? Or the studio. So how did you?
So, my
how are
gosh,
you
I made
managing
rejection
that?
my friend. One of my many friends, and you should have all kinds of friends. Rejection is one of them. So it has not been an easy journey. In the beginning, you take rejection personally. You really get offended and you feel bad and you can sulk over it for the longest time. And this is rejection at every level. It could be at any level and it could be at every level. And rejection, especially in the media, it actually hits you below the belt, because you are judged on the way you look, you're judged on, your body type, you're judged on the kind of hair, everything. It's personal, and yet it's not personal. So it's a very difficult thin line that one has to deal with, and that's where I started working. Initially, it was like the first question is, am I not good enough? And oh my gosh, they're better than me. And what does he or she have? And why did I miss out? And there's a lot of, you ask yourself these questions until you realize, hey, stop, 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 stop. This is just part of the way things work. And then I looked into it and I realized, you know what? It's not just about my talent. It is about um, especially in the media, that is, it's about what you fit into. So there could be a project that have 5 people in it. Now, do you suit being, the character for that? Or, half the battle is in the way you look. Like, do you fit the character? And then comes, can you play the character? So I had to deal with it that way, and then I told myself, and I started shifting the way I just changed my framing, and I said, hey, when one door closes, that means another door is opening. Woo-hoo! Hey, that means if I'm not doing this job, that means I can do something else today. I can learn today. I can go do this today. I started getting excited even when I was getting rejected, because I said, it's so easy to drown in your own sorrows and say, oh, I didn't get the job, I'm so upset. And I've done enough of that. And I said, no, Kristine, everything is the way you choose to have a perspective of things. So I chose. And, happiness is a choice. Thinking positively is a choice. Moving ahead, picking yourself up is a choice. Everything is a choice, right? So I said, I choose to look at every rejection and failure as an opportunity to do something else, to be something else, to, use that time to learn and grow, and maybe this was not meant to be. And I started, I'm also quite spiritual. So I said, hey, that's not meant, when I get a job, so many rejected. So when I'm getting rejected, that means somebody is getting the job. So it's all balanced. So I'm happy for that person. And I'm happy to be getting the next job that comes my way that's meant for me. So there were a couple of dialogues that I changed as a frame of mind, and I made rejection my friend. And it's not that it's easy to handle. I still face rejection on so many levels. Yet I know that I am exactly where I'm meant to be and doing what I'm meant to do. Because these are things that are not in my hands. So there's a reason why it's happening. There's a reason why it's not happening. So why go against the tide? Go for the tide, go surfing, get a surfboard and say, let's have fun.
I love this. I love this. This is a brilliant answer. And it's an amazing. There's so many golden nuggets to take away from that. There's so many takeaways from that. Now, whilst we were having a conversation, a few people were saying that you were frozen, and I could see there was a problem with the voice, but now you're back properly. So I think it's okay. I think there was a little glitch on the internet, maybe on your side or something, because you were a little bit glitchy when we were talking earlier. But you're good now. You're showing up fine on my side, and I can hear you well, so it's good. Um, that's actually very very interesting to hear that, make fear your friend.
Yeah.
I might use that as a tagline. Make fear your friend for this episode. Yeah, make fear your friend. But so and I love the fact that you also reframed your thought process and vocabulary, to actually move on from whatever that is, the rejection, the fear, all this, your thought pattern that is going on. You're like, okay, be happy for the other person who gets it. Maybe it's not for me,
The
right?
window
Those
closed
other
and the
doors
door
is going to
opened.
open up. This door is not for me. So therefore, I don't need to be. That's it. Yes, I love that. The window closes and the door opens. Yes, I love that. So the thing I'm now going to ask is, everybody likes to know, all these people who are busy and successful, and going forward relentlessly, like yourself. What is there a certain routine that you have? Is there a morning routine that you religiously do? Some people call it
Yeah,
ritual
ritual is
or
such a
something. So
beautiful
what
word.
do you
It gives a
have? Is that
little,
something you follow?
it makes it more sacred. So I love the word ritual. Routine sounds very, so I like the word
Mm.
ritual more. So yes, I'm a 5 a.m. person. And there's an hour that I dedicate. It's like 1 hour where it's like, have you heard of Elrod's savers? So basically, you divide it into SAVERS. Savers
No.
is the first 10 minutes is silence, which is meditation. A is for affirmations. So you say affirmations for 10. So everything is divided into 10 minutes. Okay, so silence for 10 minutes, affirmations for 10 minutes. V is for
Okay.
visualization. You close your eyes or you see your vision board for 10 minutes. E is for exercise. That I leave for later because it's early morning. R is for reading. So you read for 10 minutes. R, S, and S is for scribing. So scribing is as good as journaling. So it's almost an hour, a packed hour of, starting your morning with something so powerful. So you start with silence and then you do the rest. So you're already getting your me time, which is a very powerful me time. Um, that's packed in this 1 hour. So it's not like you have an excuse later. Like if I want to read, I can read later, but I know for a fact I'm done with my reading in the first 10 minutes. Things like that. And even my journaling. And journaling could be anything. You could write about your dreams, you could write about how you feel, you
Ah.
can get your emotions out. So vary it in so many ways. And it's so powerful and I love it. I look forward to it. So it's exciting.
That's actually very good to know that, you have this whole routine where you do this for the first hour of after you wake up, and wow, you're part of the 5 a.m. club, which is amazing. It's only the elites are in that club, so congratulations for being part of a 5 a.m. club. I know it's very challenging for quite a lot of us to wake up for 5 a.m., because you're like, well, I need to still carry on sleeping 1 more hour, which becomes 2 hours, but yeah, that's very well done for you on that, so for achieving that. And I'm hoping that listeners were able to take away the routines that you shared, about rituals that you shared, in terms of waking up and doing some meditation, some journaling, some gratitude, a bit of movement or exercise, and all these things. Because by the time it's your time to go out and do your day-to-day stuff, you are fully prepared and refreshed because you have done all these things and you can continue and do your. I love that. So thank you very much for sharing that. I now know. I know also that your mission communication. That you are on that mission. Because of that mission, you have also already created an online course for people that people can come and do that.
Oh,
So take us
okay.
through
My
what
favorite
that is
topic,
and
mission
what's it all about.
communication. So, like I already mentioned before, that communication was such a big, big deal for me. And I always used to say, why didn't anybody teach us communication in school? Why isn't it taught? We're learning such complex things which we never
Mm,
use for the rest of our lives. Whereas the basic skill of, you know, connecting with each other, the people connect, and how do you put yourself out into the world? Because there's so much that goes beyond that, right? We all have different personalities. Now we are not taught how to be with different personalities. We think I'm like this, they're going to be like this. I think like this, why are they not thinking like this? I mean, we come from a very judgmental space, but nobody's teaching us that live and let live. Nobody's teaching us to let people be. We all are different. And sometimes you're an introvert, sometimes you're an extrovert, sometimes you can be both. And so nobody's telling you how to handle people. And handling people, I mean, that
mm-hmm,
itself is the biggest skill. If you know how to handle people, whether it's professionally or personally, it can, it just changes the whole game. And it starts with knowing yourself. It starts with having that communication with yourself. So basically, initially, when I wanted to create this online course, I just had this deep desire. I said, I want to help people understand why the human connect is so important, why it's so important, because I know how much I struggled with it. And this could be even with your own family members. They're saying something and you're interpreting it like this. And people's idea of love is different. Like there's different love languages. So there's so many things about it. So I said, okay, how do I
mm-hmm,
do this? And the way mission communication, like I knew my niche was communication because that was something I was so passionate about. And I wanted to teach that because it was not taught to me. So I said, how do I teach that? And then I realized, hey, this is a mission of mine. And that's why mission communication, because it's my mission to help people with their communication. So that's where the whole idea came from. And
wow.
then this whole course came into being. I almost gave up, and then the way the universe conspired to make it all happen. And then so basically mission communication is divided into 3 days. It's an online course. It's divided into 3 days. So day one is external communication. I talk about body language, tonality, energy, and things like that. Day two, I talk about interpersonal skills, interpersonal communication, how we can communicate with each other professionally, personally, how etiquettes, ethics, compassion, kindness, all these things come into that. Day three is the most important, which is internal communication. It's how do we talk with ourselves, because it starts from here. So if you get this, if you are able to work on this, then that is what's within is without. So what you are, you can reflect, and that's how you can take that forward, and then everything else falls into place. So it's a holistic course, and it's a course that has it's got so many things. It's got bonuses. It's got affirmations. So there's a little bit of, spiritual. I talk about mirror work. I talk about meditation, but I also give a lot of exercises where, you can go out and try these exercises. I make you have a goal card. So there's a goal that you can have on, your communication, on how you want to communicate. So that's something you carry with you. It's like the whole deal. It's like a mini school. It's like an academy. And this mini
Wow,
academy is so easily accessible. I've
I love
literally
that.
researched, I've lived it, I've experienced it. I've researched a lot, and it took a year to, create it and come up with it. And I had a great team of people who helped me. There's no way I could have done this alone. So I had a wonderful team that helped me, and I just think that has been incredible. And now it's ready and it's out there. And I've had even a mom, like a friend who's a mom, and then her daughter who's 10. They both watched the course it's a 3-day course, but you can watch it in a day, you can watch it in 2 days. They watched it in a day and a half. And they both were raving about it. The 10-year-old was like, this was so
Hmm.
valuable. And the mother was like, oh my God, this was so valuable. So I was like, okay, so my target audience apparently is,
Hmm.
all over the place. So it's for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. I, wow, that's actually amazing that that what you've created and the feedback
Yeah.
you've got amazing from the 10-year-old and her mom as well. So that's an amazing feedback to get already that they were both raving about it and loving it, right? So and they've done it in a day and a half as well, so it's so fast. So because that's what I was going to ask. It's pre-recorded material online where they can go
Yes.
and purchase and then obviously plug into it and follow the course there. And they've and you already touched upon so much extra material on there already, the gold card, the uh,
A
reflection
lot.
process and all
There's a
that stuff. That's
lot
that's
in there.
amazing
It's
that
like
you've given
gold.
so much
If anybody
out
gets their
there
hands on it,
for them
it's
to go
gold.
for.
It is life transformation. And I just say this to people. I tell them, listen, I'm not here. I'm not going to be one of those, communication gurus or mentors to say, I'm going to transform your life overnight. My main thing is awareness. So if you are aware, if you can say, hey, this is where I am not aligned. This is where I can improve. This is where I lack. And oh, maybe I
Mm,
can, work on myself on these aspects. Then I think that itself is an achievement. Because a lot of us are not able to see our own flaws, or we're not able to understand. We think, oh, we're fine, and then other people are like, what's wrong with him? So, so the awareness, if you're able to just have that basic awareness,
yes.
that for me is,
Mm.
yeah, yay.
I, that is so amazing and on point in terms of the awareness of what needs doing. If you're aware of that, what sort of next steps that you should be taking, or if you're aware of what's lacking, because that's another thing a lot of people don't pay attention to, that what is lacking, because everybody think, oh, yeah, I'm okay. But yeah, you're okay. But because you're just looking at the front, right, just going there, yeah, you're okay for that because that's where you're going. But people from outside are like, yeah, what's did you not realize what's happening here? Or look at the door from the side is falling off. If it's a car, right, he doesn't know the car's
Yeah.
broken at the back. There's no lights not working because he's not looking at the back, right? So that is need to be aware that everything is in perspective, everything is working, everything is moving forward to where you need to be. And I love that your mission communication is created for this amazing project of yours in terms of helping everybody to actually have a better space of communication so that they can create that better world and not be judgmental. I mean, we come through judgmental because society teaches us that, right? So, and hence we just expect things to happen to us and others to just understand. And that's not the case. The others would not understand because they're thinking the same as what you're thinking. So, and therefore, everybody's just thinking of each other to understand each other automatically, and then we are not happy with each
Until
other,
then.
and
then there's like arguments and fights and what disagreements and exactly, and all this is going on, and I love that you're creating an harmony between that, so that hey, get out of this chaos, do a better communication,
Yeah,
and hey presto, it's 3 days only, guys, come on. 3 days,
with
and
harmony,
yeah,
yes, with
and then
alignment,
you go
with
back into the chaos, but
awareness.
with the harmony.
And I really believe that, you can have so much, like so much more enriching relationships, professionally, personally, if you're willing to do the work. Because, working on yourself is not easy. It's not something everybody is open to or even says, oh, I don't have the time for it. Or it's, because we all have a light side, like the yin yang, and, we have light and dark in us. We all do. We all have that. Some of us don't even want to face it. It's very, because it's a harsh truth that, hey, we're not perfect. We're human. We have
Mm.
aspects of us that are not the best, and we need to work on that. Sometimes I have some friends who tell me, Chris, we don't like this about you, and we didn't like the way you behaved here, or you could be this, or you, and I actually value them so much more because they are honest, and I'm able to take that feedback and say, okay, I need to work on that. Right? It's not easy. It sounds like, wow, self development, work on yourself, and
Yes.
tomorrow. It takes a lot to look into the darkest parts of you and say, I'm not perfect. I need to work on myself. So everything starts with you, and if you're at
Mm.
least sincere about it, energy is felt. People are able to connect with that and say, okay, at least this person is coming from a place of honesty and sincerity, and then it just makes everything better. Like, I can just turn around and say, I'm sorry. And even sometimes people find it so hard to say, I'm sorry. It's difficult, but you just say what's more important,
Oh yes.
valuing the relationship or saying I'm sorry. And saying sorry, but the ego comes in the way, and this comes in the way, and that comes in the way. Like, why should I? So I just think working on ourselves is the most important thing, and if
Mm.
we are able to do that, life can be transformational. It can be magical. It can be amazing. And I think it'll just change your relationships, and it'll never be perfect all the time, but it'll improve for sure. And people just feel that genuineness, and that's all that is, the human connect. We just need to know, uh, I don't know, I just feel that if we just, I feel I'm so passionate about this because, when you experience things, you're like, oh man, just work on yourself a little bit and the world will be a better place. So in my some of my hashtags, you see me say happy heart, happy world, which means if you are taking care of yourself, if you ensure there's
Mm.
self-love and you have a happy heart, automatically the world is a happier place. But if you are angry, negative, and all of that, then you see everybody's grumpy and everybody's reflecting that. So I
Exactly.
just believe,
Exactly.
take care of this and everything else will follow.
Yeah. It, I would I would agree that 100%. I would agree with that, because if you're showing happy emotions and happy vibrations, and coming across as happy, then everybody around you is
Yeah.
also happy. I'm not saying that you
No,
need to be
not at all.
24/7 happy, because that's not possible. That's not possible, because there are some things in the life that will slow you down, or the issues that will come across that you need to be a little bit sad. So if you're feeling sad, be sad, but then dust yourself up and then get ready for the day, and put a smile on your face and continue, right?
Absolutely.
And find peace in whatever you're doing. That's also what I was hearing. I was hearing from what your conversation is like, to find peace in whatever you're doing, and therefore you will be happy, right? So if you're at peace with everything
Yeah.
that you're doing, happiness will come in from there as well, right? Um, question I was going to ask you now was, right, thank you for also obviously amazing shares that you've shared so far in terms of your morning rituals, your fear, making the fear your best friend. And it's such an amazing journey that you all are sharing here with us. Now, we wanted to know in terms of, is there something you do also to wrap up your day in terms of how do you now close your day? You know, everything is finishing now. You come home and what do you do? Just grab a bottle of wine
So
and put
I
your feet
have
up,
two
or
sons at home. One is a year and a half, and one is about 6 months. Uh, yeah, Sparky and Asterix, they're my two cats.
oh wow.
So they're my babies. So they are my joy. I think I look forward to my time. They're not the cuddliest of the babies, but I actually spend time with them, and it's so relaxing, and it feels amazing, and it's so therapeutic. You forget everything. So spending time with them is joy for me. And uh, before going to bed, I I actually say a list of things that I'm grateful for. And I do a lot of forgiveness. I work on a lot of forgiveness. I work on a lot of letting go, releasing, and just having so much gratitude for all the blessings. The very fact that I'm back home safe and I'm protected, and oh, there are a million things to be thankful for. So I think that itself makes me smile, and I'm already ready to go into La La Land and say, ah. So yeah, and I also write. Before sleeping, I also write. I have a journal that I just like to end on that note. So I literally end on that note. So I write that. But I want to mention, like what you said about not being
Wow.
happy all the time, and this is a misconception, like how happiness is viewed as this very um, it's like, how can you be happy all the time? And I wanted to acknowledge you for saying that you can't be happy all the time, which is a fact. You can't be happy all the time. And like I mentioned earlier, happiness is also a choice. But I also want to say that when it's so important to acknowledge your feelings. It's so important to embrace it. It's so important to cry and get it out of your system, whether it's writing, whether it's crying, whether it's speaking it out, whether it's whatever. Like, people have different ways, and it's like, give yourself permission to feel that, experience that, and snap out of it. Then don't drown in that. So we are human. We are meant to experience all kinds of emotions, rightfully so. And then yet again, when I say happiness is a choice, it's because you're choosing to be grateful for what you have, than to sulk and be upset for what you don't have. So that's where happiness comes in. It's a choice where I
I love
can I
that.
can be upset, like it could be anything, but I give myself time to process the pain, process whatever I'm going through, and then I'm like, okay, it's out of my system. I've experienced it. It's time to focus on the things I'm grateful for. It's time to focus on the blessings, because there's so much to be, grateful for on this planet. So, again, you can be positive. It's a choice, perspective, the way you look at things, and then you move on. So you can't be happy all the time. And I usually come across as a overly bubbly, chirpy, 24/7 person who's always happy. But I love people, and I'm usually extra happy when I'm around people. And I'm also happy when I'm alone at home, because I play music and I'm dancing and I'm going crazy and I'm having fun. So I'm also equally happy when I'm alone. But I do have my times when I can just be like,
Yeah.
I can just, like, I don't have to be going ha 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 all the time. But so happiness is a choice, and that happiness doesn't have to be like loud. It can be in your heart. So, and that, if you feel that, you can, it shows.
I really love that. Yeah, that's so amazing, and thank you very much for pointing that on and sharing this. You just reminded me of something that I read very, very long time ago. It's like, it said emotions are like waves. You know, let them come and let them go, because they will come and then they will go. It's what you do with those emotions while they are with you and before they leave you, what counts. So exactly what you just said, right? So when you are in that emotion, acknowledge them and be with it, but then let them go, and then be yourself, because you're happy now, and you know, enjoy the rest of your day or life and carry on. But emotions obviously will come and go, so it's a bit like, and I was picturing myself you know, at the beach where the waves are coming and going, because sometimes you're scared because the wave is higher and then, or powerful, and then when it goes away and you're laughing, oh yes, you know, we just tackled it, we've overcome it. And I'm thinking that as well. So emotions are just like that, right? So the low moments that you're gonna get,
Yeah.
and we all get that. So embrace it and overcome it, because that's what they are there for, and learn from it to see what it's trying to teach you. And when you overcome it, you will be the better, stronger person after that, which means you should now smile brighter and shine brighter after that, right? So that's how I was, that came to our mind when you just shared that with me. So that's an amazing share. Thank you very much. You know, we should be wrapping this up shortly, but before we do all these things, I wanted to ask, so your mission communication, how can people find that? Where should they
So,
go if they want
so
to
there's
hop
my
onto that
website, which
course of
is
yours?
www.KristineZedek, KRISTINEZEDEK.com. So over there, there's the acting world and the media personality bit, and there is the communication mentor bit. So they can go there, and I've got a course even on confidence called Confidence Currency. It's confidence with a K, like Kristine with a K. So, so there are two courses, so people can go on through my website. Also, if they follow me on, I have two accounts on Instagram. One is the media personality, which is where we're getting interviewed, and there is the other one, which is mainly just for me being a coach and a trainer. I just wanted to keep that aside, because you know, I can do crazy things here. And I can be a little more sane over there. So that's again at coach underscore Kristine Zedek, KRISTINE ZEDEK. So that's on Instagram. So in that there is a link on the in the bio that takes you directly to where people can buy, you know, or yeah, just get their hands on mission communication. And it's as simple as that. So my website, KristineZedek.com, and you know, the bio link is in the coach underscore Kristine Zedek in Instagram. Yeah, they can get that.
In there as well. Mm. Wow, that's so I'll suggest everybody to check out those pages and your website as well. So it's one of the amazing things which is needed at the moment in terms of communication and everything that we've been going through, that we've just talked about, right? It's 100% needed, because 100% we are always failing short of understanding the other person. And that is not because the other person is saying anything wrong or right. It's just because we are not able to communicate, and communicate meaning hear what they are saying. So if they are asking something, we need to now reply or respond to that, but we are not able to because we did not hear what they also just said properly, right? So I love that you're also doing this. And before we just finish all this and wrap up all now, I would like to ask, what would you like the listeners what would you like the listeners to take away from today's episode?
Yeah,
What would you
sure.
like to leave
Okay, one
them
more thing.
with?
I think I have my team member here, so if he can, is he allowed to put in the link over here? If he's allowed?
Yeah,
On the
once
comment. Okay,
you
great. So
once
that
I
he's going to.
post this,
Okay, so what I would
we can
like to
leave a
leave
comment on
it,
it.
there are two things that always come to my mind. One is a quote I have written myself. So it says, "Why chase rainbows when you are the rainbow?"
Oh,
And I believe we are the rainbow because of the colors we have. That way, we are also made with so many emotions. So we're not just one thing, we're many things put together, we're many aspects, we're many elements, we're all of that. So we are the rainbow, and just that is one which, so that's one quote: why chase rainbows when you are the rainbow? The other one I always usually in my videos with: smile, sparkle, shine, let your light shine, because we all deserve to be happy always.
Wow, that I think this is the best closer of all the episodes
Thank
that we
you.
had. So I love that. It's an amazing closer. So everybody who's listening to this Tuesday Talks live on Instagram at the moment, and also people who are listening to this a bit later on once it's posted as a podcast on Spotify and Apple and every other Spotify podcast place. I wanted to put this across everybody who is listening to this now. If you found any inspiration in the conversation that we just had, any spark moments that you were lit up with, it's our responsibility now to share this with others. Don't just keep the inspiration within you. Don't just keep it with yourself. Share it with others, because we don't know who has just woken up or gone to bed thinking of a better day. So we need to share. If you had inspiration, tag someone into this episode or podcast, that person that just came to your mind, right? So tag that person or share the episode with them, because we need to spread inspiration out there. We need to spread that spark, because it's the only one spark that needs to start the engine running, right? So that's that one spark might get them to think and take action for what they've been not taking so far, right? And maybe give them the idea, let's do
Thank
this.
you.
So Kristine, thank you very much for
I'm so
your
glad.
wonderful
We
time
are the
today and such an amazing
energizers,
episode.
dude. We
And
are the
everybody else, thank you
energizers.
as well.
So we have to be energized to help others energize themselves as
Yes,
well, Hannah.
yes, 100% agree with that. We are the energizers,
So
so we
just to
need
let
to be
everybody know,
energized
I
to
met
energize
Zishan in
others.
Europe.
Yes.
And he's an amazing, he's an amazing person. He is so awesome with the way he is with people. You're an amazing coach. I've seen you as a leader, and we were in the same group. We were with Vishen Lakhiani, and we were on stage. We were in charge of making sure everybody's up and about and jumping, and we made sure we energized the entire room. So, I'm so glad that we have stayed connected. And thank you for being you, because you are awesome. And I love the things that you do, the way you are bringing so many people on and helping, people learn from so many things. So keep rocking, dude. I'm so glad, Priyanka. And thank you for this.
Well, yeah, thank you very much. No, so thank you very much. Wow, no, I would like to say thank you as well for those kind words, and thank you very much for you being you as well. That's, and because of your energy and amazing charisma, that we got connected as well, because we were energizing the room and everything. We needed that, right? So we 10x that room
Yeah.
full of people. It was
What an
nearly, I
experience.
think nearly 3,000 people in that room that
Yeah.
when we were there, and we were the powerhouse, making sure everybody is fully energized and powered up for the rest of the day. But no, thank you very much, Kristine, and
Thank you
everybody who
so
was
much,
listening to it.
and God
And
bless,
have
and
a rest of a
smile,
great
sparkle,
evening.
shine. Let your light shine. Bye, everyone. Thank you.